All right. Hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome in. TryHard's certified. We are live with today's podcast. It is TryHard's COOLDOWN coming to you with me, myself, Howie, with Veronika and Derrell. We are going to be taking over this episode. Alex will not be featured on this episode, but he will be hanging around for the next one because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And it's been like 2 weeks, I believe, since our last episode. So it's nice when we have these like little breaks where we do like 2 weeks in a row and then a week off because we can kind of digest a little bit of the news that's been going on a little bit better.
Yeah.
And, you know, first things first, when we start these conversations, we have to talk about what games have we been playing. So I'm going to, throw this off to somebody who's been playing a lot of a Blizzard shooter. Veronika, what's your plate for games right now?
I've literally only been on Overwatch. I'm not going to lie. That is the only thing I'm playing. I wish I was different, but I'm not. I'm playing Overwatch.
Look, in your defense, I've never been so inclined to want to play Overwatch than I have right now because two things. One, to almost say what I've been playing, I just recently finished grinding last season's Apex Battle Pass because I bought it top of the season, never went back, and then I'm trying to get my money's worth. And because of that, I don't love Apex anymore. So I'm looking for a new shooter, and they have that one punch fit, and I'm like,
It's coming next month.
So I might tune in. You might have a new. What do you call? You guys are not legends. What do you call yourselves?
Just heroes.
New hero coming in the ring. It's me.
Oh, he's gonna be getting into the ring. So, Derrell, what are you playing right now?
But yeah, other than that one Apex grind, I am reluctant to say I have been playing a certain game featuring witches and wizards. It's pretty fun.
That's what I hear from people. That it is.
It's Still haven't learned how to kill people on sight yet. But apparently I can, and so.
Yeah, I found that out on TikTok. I didn't know you could do that until like a couple of days ago.
I saw literally, yeah. They gave me that little stick, and that was the first thing I yelled out. Nothing happened, but it's coming. I'm studying.
It's on the way. Okay, but we'll talk more about Hogwarts in a little bit. But to kind of also chime in on that, I have been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy as well. I am 24 hours in at the moment. Yep. I fear it's a good game.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but it is a good game. And in addition to that, I have been playing Destiny 2 again to get ready for the new expansion, which is coming out at the end of the month.
For the people who aren't, I guess, familiar-ish with Destiny 2, what lore are you on? Is that the phrase?
The lore, I guess. Right now, what's happening
what
in the
season
game,
is this, or whatever you call it?
It's crazy to think that this is like the 20th season of the game, which is wild, which is
Trust
insane. But they didn't even start doing seasons until I think when Shadowkeep came out like 4 years ago. So this Destiny 2's been going on since 2017, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, 2018. So Destiny 2's been around for a while. So where we're at right now in the story is it's at the end of the Witch Queen expansion. We're now going to Lightfall. The Witness, who is like the leader of the darkness side of the Destiny lore, is like trying to fight back, trying to come take over everything right now. So that's where we're getting into, leading into Lightfall, which we will be playing on TryHard Plays in a couple weeks, so make sure you tune in for that. So we'll be playing a little bit of the story here, but getting caught up, getting all of my gear slots ready to go. I have a lot of inventory to clear out, so kind of just doing my duty there.
So question for you, because PlayStation Plus just gave me a Destiny 2 thing, and I don't know, am I going to be behind now, or should I open up the file and see what's there to be had?
Well, okay. It's so hard to explain with Destiny. Right now, if you played, so the new thing that they added to PlayStation Plus is Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which is not the most recent expansion, but it's the expansion before. So that means you get access to one of the newest subclasses, which is I can't remember, Stasis, the Stasis subclass. So you get the new subclass, which will be useful if you do end up playing the game a little bit longer. However, if you do get Lightfall, every character will get brought up to the current level. So everybody's going to start at the same level when the expansion comes out. So if you do like Destiny, you played through a little bit, you enjoy what you're playing, if you get Lightfall, you will be caught up to everybody else. So no one's going to be behind. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. I might try it out.
So then it's like, at that point, it's like, all right, try it out. I always tell people, like, don't start on Destiny.
Because I feel like, you know, when as far as Destiny is concerned, it's like everyone who I've met that has played the game loves the game. And then I always respond with, hey, you know, maybe I try it. And they'll be like, don't. So I'm just like, what's going on? Well, what don't I know? You know,
it's like you're catching up to 9 years of that game because it comes from Destiny 1 to 2. So you're kind of catching up in a sense, but it's not impossible. They made it a little bit easier for you to catch up and get like up to speed on everything, but it is a lot of learning for you to do basically. So I don't know. Destiny is a great game. It's really fun. Like, I think it's the best shooter mechanics out of any shooter that's out right now. I really believe that.
Really? I really have to try this game.
The shooting mechanics are top notch. Like,
that's a wild bullet point.
Yeah,
pun intended.
Well, pun intended. But I'm so serious. Like, not even just because I like the game. Shooting mechanics wise, it might be the best in class out of all FPS games. Like, it's really good. So I don't know.
Download it. We about to try it.
That is some high praise.
Got 2 expansions ago. It gotta be on sale.
Y'all get on it.
Free, it gotta be on sale.
We got cross-play, cross-progression, so come on through.
Come on, come through.
So come through. We'll carry you through all the missions, so if you want to get on Destiny 2, let me know. We're going to hop in and do that. But before we talk a little bit more about some other games, we got to talk and recap about, it might be the best video game TV show,
and I told you it was going to be. I
fear Arcane's in trouble.
I've been saying this shit for like a year straight. I'm like, oh, Craig Mazin, y'all gonna learn. It's gonna be the greatest video game adaptation ever. After this, nothing but video game movies and TV shows getting sold. It's gonna change everything. Superheroes are going down, and look, it's happening. Where's my 8-ball? I'm the 8-ball, man. Oh, come on.
Arcane is in trouble, I fear, because The Last of Us is just getting better and better. And since we didn't have an episode last week, we didn't get to talk about episode 4, and episode 5 also came right a couple days before the Super Bowl. So we have 2 episodes to recap on. Derrell, Veronika, you guys are the bigger Last of Us TV shows fans here, so I'm going to let you guys take the lead here and talk about episode 4, which, you know, the ending of that led into 5, but I'll go ahead and let you guys take the wheel on this one.
All right, let me see. I'm trying not to confuse the 2 episodes. So episode 4 begins with Joel and Ellie leaving.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Leaving Bill Craig's house with the truck.
Yeah.
On a nice little road trip. And yeah, which leads into the ambush in Kansas City. So there's already a few changes that they did from the game. One, they're supposed to be in Pittsburgh, but I like that they're already further in like a more, let's call it like remote America. I like that what was just generic bad guys, right? Looters and shooters are now this, you know, resistance that took over their QZ, and now it's like, I guess you're starting to see the first inklings of society and civilization outside of the government bubbles, which they dive deeper into in part 2, is what I'm assuming. This episode is just, look, it's perfect storytelling from top to bottom. It's again, it's like episode 1 where it's like when you know what's gonna happen, but yet you're still on the edge of your seat and you're just eating your popcorn. You know, what can I say? It's perfect. last thing I will say, I love that they kept the scene where like Ellie's in the back seat and she finds a magazine. It was perfect in the game. It was perfect in the show. It's just hilarious. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Nailed it.
Yeah. They did a great job nailing that. Veronika, what are your thoughts on episode 4?
I loved it. Again, so good. But it's funny because as soon as I knew where we were going, I'm like, Sam and Henry are coming up. Like, we know. The second I saw them at the end, I was like, oh, good God, I'm not looking forward to episode 5. Like, that shit was... The whole game is sad. The entire game is sad. But something about the Sam and Henry stuff, like, fucking broke me. That hurt so much. So it's funny because I know it's I was talking to a friend. I think we were trying to make plans to do something, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm busy Friday because like Last of Us comes out early. And she's like, oh, I can't wait. And I'm like, can't wait. I'm dreading this episode. She's like, oh, I haven't played the game. I'm watching it for the first time. And I'm like,
my bad, B.
Oh, my bad. But it's funny because I'm like, you know, I was wondering the other day, like, is it better to be watching this without knowing what happens in the game or watching this as a fan who already, you know, has played everything, whatever? I feel like I'm still watching it without knowing really what's going to happen because all these changes they're making, so, like, the way that they deviate from things, it works. Like, all the ways that they keep changing the story, it works for the sake of the show. And enhancing what they're doing in the show and what they have to work with the show. It's really good. So I still, you know, it's like, it's cool because I never feel bored. I don't feel like my mind's wandering around during things, you know. It's been really fucking fun. I like that episode. When the guy like threw, what was it, like a brick or something from the top of the roof to hit the
like
car.
cinder block,
Oh my God, I got scared. I was like, yo, this is happening like almost like the game. I forgot. I think a car hits them in the game. I don't remember exactly.
I forgot exactly. And you know what's crazy? Because I feel like it has been long enough where it's like we remember the big things out the game, but we don't remember like the little shit. You know, it's not until I go back and do a little bit of research where I'm like, oh, they changed this, they changed that. And so like, when they introduce Sam and Henry, it's almost like you don't see it coming, right? It's like we know they exist in the universe, but like, boop, here they are. And you're like, oh shit. And then it's all you really get as like a fan of the game is like, oh, I remember you, kinda. And then as the story is unfolding, you're like, oh wait, no, I do remember you. Oh God, oh no. And so, they bodied the guys who acted as Sam and Henry. Did such a phenomenal job.
They were crazy.
And man, yo, they do such a good job of telling characters' backstories without making it feel like a backstory episode. You know, like we all watch anime. And so, you know, like when we get that, you know, we just meet a new character, then it's like 5 episodes of like their whole backstory, and we're like, oh, come on, get to the fight. It's like they're doing the same thing here, but they do it in such a beautiful way. Like even go back to the Bill and Frank episode, right? It's just like it starts with Joel and Ellie being like, yo, we're going to Bill and Frank's. And then boom, it cuts to 20 years earlier and we see Bill's whole journey. And then boom, it ends with, you know, Joel and Ellie just kind of coming back at that time, discovering what happened. And it's just, the story just unfolds so naturally. You don't even realize that you are watching flashbacks, that you are watching, you know, these deep backstories. It's just, everything is so satisfying. Everything just enhances the events that happen. And I got on this long rant because I'm like, everything's connected. But I say that to say, Joel in the city, cinder block, boom, crashes into the laundromat. His first response when he looks to Ellie is, you know, he's like, yo, are you hurt? Can you move? My head instantly jumps back to the first episode where the last car crash that we're in is him and Sarah, and her ankle is jacked. And so it's like, this whole thing, him being around Ellie is just this whole thing is triggering to him. And every episode you see him process, I guess, his own trauma more and more and more. And it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful story, you know. So, how did you feel about the episodes, man?
Well said. First of all, hand claps for Derrell. Very well said there. Before I get into my thoughts, shout out to my boy Raphael. Said, "What's up, Howie? In the game, I played the games, but was scared to watch the show. I need to start, I guess." And
yes, please.
Rob, my brother.
Don't come back here without watching it. Don't come back here.
No, come back. But every time you come back, you gotta tell us how you felt about the last episode.
Yeah,
you know,
whatever was the last one that you saw.
Yep.
Keep updating us.
Listen, dude, this show it's just so well made, and you know, like I said as a joke, like Arcane's in trouble. It's like they're two different types of shows, but the way that The Last of Us has really, first of all, the changes, which is what a lot of people who are, you know, huge fans of Last of Us are like, oh man, I don't know, I don't want them to change too much. But I felt like for the most part that every change that they have made in the show has really elevated it as its own separate thing and really made it even better than what it was in the game. So I think that these changes were needed, and they have really put them on display. And you know, like you said, with Kansas City being the part instead of Pittsburgh was a big change, because it shows like, oh yeah, they are a little bit further along going up to Seattle. And then also because you know, seeing Sam and Henry being able to like watch them, you know, or watch Joel take out everybody too was like a big thing. And Ellie getting her first like kind of kill. But that was the only thing I wasn't a fan of in the change.
Nah, I love that.
Because I think that the emotion in the game was a lot better than it was in the show. But I understand why they made that change. That was the only one I was like, I don't know about that one, but that's the only time I had that.
That was huge for me, because I remember in the game she killed some dude with like a rifle, right?
It was the pistol, because he was like putting Joel underwater to like make him.
Oh, that's right. And then she gets the rifle as, like, and so now she's like your Atreus in the game. I think when it comes to the psychology of this story, you really do see the difference in like how the rules that a game has to play by, and then the rules that a story has to play by.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it goes back to like these goons, right? It's like in the game they're just goons, but in the show they're humans. You know, they overthrew their government, and even the dude that she shot in the back, and he's like pleading for his life. It's like it almost reminds you, it's like, oh, this is not a game. This is some real shit.
If you keep one of the people alive at the end, they beg for their lives.
Oh shit! I do not keep them alive. I was
like, I'm blasted. Bow, bow.
But they do beg you. But like, yeah, I think the psychology stuff was different. That's also why I think they had oh, bye.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for stopping by and sleep, my brother.
What's it called?
Continue.
I think that's how they also had Joel react different. Like, he was a little more like understanding to the way Ellie would be feeling. He's like, you shouldn't be doing that at like such a young age, whatever. And then same thing later with like Sam and Henry, not gonna lie. They changed a little bit with them too. But that's next episode.
So I guess we can just roll right into that. So I think the biggest change is Sam being deaf.
That was a huge change. Like, I did not see that coming at all. That was a big change.
And I kind of loved it. It just added more complexity to just this world, because like, I think when we used to think about like the end of the world movies and these shows, there's always like kind of the one type of person, right? There's always just they're all Joels. Everyone in the world is fucking Joel. But now I think there's just it just feels so real, you know, with these little things. And I think him being deaf and having to, you know, rely on his big brother just a bit more, just increases the stakes in things, and you know, again, it's just wow. 10 out of 10.
Did Sam have leukemia in the game? I can't remember if he did. I don't think if they changed that also in the show. I know that they had mentioned that in the episode.
I don't recall that, but just a quick footnote on that note. I think there's a running theme here that I'm starting to notice when it comes to leukemia. Because that's the same thing that caught Frank up too. Yeah. And so I wonder if they're gonna, if there's like a bigger play here, if there's a bigger conversation that's gonna happen in the end. But sorry, I feel like Veronica's gonna say something.
Yeah, no, I don't remember if he had leukemia exactly. I think they were just trying to leave. Like, I think that's like to survive the hunters. Yeah, I think they're just trying to get out. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I don't think they fleshed out their stories as much in the game too. So this felt like, it's even crazy to think like 20 minutes of character development makes such a huge difference from the show to the game. Like them having that 20 minutes of just kind of their backstory, where they came from, just makes their characters even more impactful and emotional.
Yeah, because in the game now, okay, now I could be wrong about this one. Aren't they father and son?
No, they're brothers in the.
Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, but we definitely meet them in a more of a game capacity.
I think
Sam
where it's
just like
a little older, right?
Yes, I feel like both of them felt a little older. I feel like Sam was closer to Ellie's age, and Henry was closer to Joel's age. It felt like, they were just like, I don't know, I guess the Black Ellie and Joel in the video game, but because you really don't get to dive deep in their backstory and figure out what they're going on with, and so I think that's what they're doing in The Last of Us. Essentially, it's just like all these people who we heard their names and we see them passing. You know, we're pretty much asking ourselves, where did they come from? Where are they going? And it's nice because we get to see it. I had one last note, but I had totally spaced. Nothing. Got it. Nothing.
I do want to say something that was kind of like a cute little thing, not about the show, but like kind of the guy who plays Sam in the show, the little kid. In an interview, he said his favorite superhero is Miles Morales, right?
Ooh.
And you know who played Sam in the game? That was the guy who plays Miles in like all the Spider-Man things. Like, I forgot his name, but
that's
the one
wild.
Isn't that cute?
Miles,
cute.
Video game Miles was
video game
Sam.
Miles
video game
in
Sam.
Last of Us. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well,
I love how all the video game actors are like kind of getting a little bit of play in the show, because Tommy, yeah. So video game Tommy is the dude with the beard for the mercenaries,
or the anti-federal guy. Yep, that's him. And I was watching it with my friend, and I was sitting there, and I was like, "Wait a second!" I immediately heard his voice like 2 seconds.
Right, you're like, I know that voice.
That's Tommy.
When Marlene popped up, I was like, "Damn, she looked just like Marlene." I'm like, that's some good ass casting. And then at the end, they're like, "Yeah, Marlene." And I was like, "Oh, of course."
Yeah. Great casting decisions there for sure. But first of all, Marvel needs to go ahead and hit this man up, get this kid and the Miles Morales in the Spider-Man trilogy, the new one that they're doing. You're gonna go ahead and make your Miles right here. First of all, but episode 5 again was so great. Another like every episode was just fire. Like what do you expect? The bloater was fucking
I was about to say literally, I'm like, they revealed that bloater perfectly. Because one, they hinted to it in 4, right? With they saw the ground already getting weak. And then like in 5, they almost kept like foreshadowing it. It's like, are we going to the tunnels? Legend is Fedra drove them all down there, but truth is, they really ain't. And it's like, oh, okay, interesting. But then, it's crazy because I feel like we say this every episode, where it's like, it's funny how this is a show about zombies, but there really isn't a lot of zombies. But then every now and then, they got to remind you, this is a show about zombies. And so it's perfect.
When they do, it's like the biggest like punch in the face you'll get. Like that shit was
fight back.
The what's it called? That little girl infected. That was.
Oh my god, that was terrifying.
Oh my god.
That was terrifying.
Oh my god. shouts to whoever, like the director of this episode also did 4, so he did the 4-5 combo. Shouts to him.
He nailed it. Whoever that was killed it.
Because people who appreciate monster acting, like they get it, you know, they just get it, right? They easily could have made it some CGI shit. They easily could have made it some generic Walking Dead, but they're like, no, I'm making art. I want Emmys, and so here we are.
They're like, we want Emmys.
The bloater was all like, that was a person, like that was makeup and like prosthetics, like what?
I think they did a little bit of CGI and just for like background zombies, because this is the highest number of zombies we've seen infected, I should say, that we've seen in the show so far. But a majority of them, and they're very serious about this, like, because they have so much information to work with, right? Like, this is where I think making an adaptation of video game is almost cheating compared to making that of the book, right? Because the book is all words, and then someone has to imagine what that looks like, and then everyone who read the book could argue about it because they're like, I imagined it differently. But in the video game, we know what clickers look like.
I fear a good game. This is kind of going to be like our little thoughts and impressions. As Veronika hasn't got the chance to play it yet, but we have a lot to talk about with Hogwarts. As like I said earlier, I'm 24 hours into the game on Steam. I'm like craving it every time I come home, or if I'm like doing work, and I'm like, I'm gonna play Hogwarts like right after. It's pretty good. Derrell, I want you to take it away. I want to hear your thoughts about it.
All right, I guess I'll jump in real quick. I too am about in the 20s when it comes to the hours. I feel like, man, I went in, I guess, you know, expecting like a good time. You know, it's like I never read the books, lied about it my whole life, loved the movies. You know, it's everything you wanted out of this IP ever since you saw the movies, right? It would be like, oh man, it'd be cool if I could fucking go to there and just do random shit and explore and all that. And it's literally all that. I don't think I have any real complaints yet. You know, it's like the world is actually a lot smaller than you think, but I don't have an issue with that because I'm still plenty busy. Story is pretty good. Soundtrack is gorgeous. You know, it's I wanted to talk shit about the game and I can't, and it's a little difficult. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm having a good time. What can I say?
Yeah, it's unfortunately, you know, it is a good game. I hate to say it, but it's actually really good. As somebody who has, you know, little to no knowledge of Harry Potter, I saw the movies when I was younger, and I have like no recollection of them. I never got into Harry Potter; it just wasn't my thing when I was younger. But kind of playing this game fresh, essentially, with the fresh mindset in Harry Potter, and just the world itself is just so beautiful. It's fun. It's very well made and designed, because I only know Hogwarts. Like, I don't know about Hogsmeade and all these other locations that
true. Yeah, I look in the movies, as a movie watcher, I know that's where they go to drink, but that's it. You know, so I don't know. I really don't know shit about their life. You know, but
shout out the butterbeer, because it's pretty good. I've had it at Universal. It's pretty good. So shout outs to that. But again, there's no recollection of anything Harry Potter. I was pretty much coming into this world brand new, fresh off the bat, and just seeing the type of game they've crafted. And when you get like later on to the game, you're like, whoa, this game has depth, because I didn't know this game was going to actually be this in depth. Like, I was like, you know, you're going to have your spells, you're going to have your character customization, but like you can actually have the talents to go with them. You can really customize your character transmogging. Like, there's so much stuff you can do in the game that I did not expect at all. And I think they made a very good open world RPG.
Yeah, it did exceed my expectations, because again, you know, you're just like, oh, it's a movie video game. Wow, I can't speak. So you just think it's just gonna be bottled. You know, it's not gonna be as expansive as it should be, or in depth, or blah blah blah. You know, I really just came for the hairstyles, and so I was just like, oh, the game's gonna be corny anyway. But no, to your point, it's just like the the amount of spells that you learn, the puzzles that you can do, the combat is super satisfying. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
you
and I started the hard mode off the rip too, which was like I normally play normal mode when I play games. I don't do hard mode unless it's like maybe Call of Duty, because like I played Call of Duty for so many years. But I was like hard mode off the rip, and it's not that difficult, but it's not like a walk in a cake, like a walk in the park either. Like, you know, it's not a piece of cake just to walk through. So it's really fun, and I'm really enjoying the combat. So what class are you, Derrell? I wanted to ask, which class did you pick?
I'm sorry. What do you mean class?
Oh, sorry, not class. House. My bad. I was thinking class. Wow. And I was like,
so yeah.
Wrong game.
This is actually the thing where I because my sister bought the game, and so she was super serious about it, and so I was like, yo, should I take the quiz on the game, or should I? She was like, you gotta fucking take the test online. And so I took the test online, thinking that I was gonna be like an evil boy or someone Ravenclaw. Turns out I'm Gryffindor.
Okay.
And so yeah, I'm like a Ronin samurai, like even though I'm Gryffindor, I'm out here doing dark spells. I ain't afraid to torture somebody. Tell me what I want. What are the drugs? And so,
oh my god, let me talk about that real quick, because when I took the quiz online years ago, but I didn't link my Warner Brothers account, so it was separate from that. But I was a Hufflepuff when I took the quiz online. So I'm Hufflepuff in the game, but you can also like learn the dark arts and stuff like that. And I just unlocked Crucio, so that's where I'm at right now. And it's funny too, because if you do missions with other people, like you do like Crucio, and then they're like, why are you using that spell? They're like, what the fuck is you doing?
Yo, listen, they're so confused. They're like, what?
They see that, they're like, you're learning the dark arts? Like, what?
I am about that shit. Yeah, I'm like the coolest Gryffindor, honestly. Like, all the Slytherins be inviting me to parties and kickbacks. They're like, oh, this guy, he gets it. He ain't afraid to drop a body. And I'm like,
they're like, yo, this man, he's got the wand in his hand. He's about to mess you up. You better watch out. But I'm like kind of like a more, I wouldn't say I'm an evil Hufflepuff, but I'm like a curious, because I'm learning the dark arts, but like I'm being nice too. I'm like a gray Jedi, basically. That's how I look at it. For me,
that's essentially what I'm building towards. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I'm not gonna lead with it, but if I gotta, best believe it's happening.
Best believe.
But yeah,
and the one cool thing too that I didn't know is that the houses actually have certain side missions and quests and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Because if you guys don't know, if you're a Hufflepuff, you actually get a quest that goes to Azkaban. Which is insane.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that was exclusive to Hufflepuff. So you go to the prison, and
man, I want to go to jail.
I want to go to jail. First time I've heard that one before.
Last question. What's the name of your character?
So if you guys missed our Hogwarts stream that we did last week, my name is Howie Yeager, and Yeager shout out to Attack on Titan.
Yep, okay, right.
So I'm the Attack on Titan and Howie Yeager. That is the name of my character. But yeah, Derrell, any other thoughts you got on Hogwarts Legacy? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, it's just a fun time. Really good metrics. My room of requirement is very nice. We gotta do MTV Cribs of that one day. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun game. It's a shame, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the one downside of the game has been the issues on PC has been really bad. They just had a patch come out yesterday, and the game feels a little bit better, so I will say that. But the issues, it should have been optimized a little bit better. But other than that, no notes. Good game.
Yeah, I'm on console, so I have no complaints on processing.
The one game I should have got on PS5 was Hogwarts, man. I hate to see it. I really.
What can I say?
Hey, but as we keep talking
you don't really need mods for this game. I guess.
But have you seen the mods? Have you seen the ones that go around?
I actually have not, but I'm sure they're fun.
Somebody's turned their broom into Thomas the Train already. I've seen that. Somebody's turned turned your character into Hulk. I've seen Shrek. I've seen so many other
Shrek
things.
Is good. I would do Shrek at Hogwarts. That's nice.
Yeah, and they have like a
I'll
Skyrim top mod. I don't know why I can't say that type mod, but they have a Skyrim one where you can pretty much kill all of the NPCs in Hogwarts, and also they're making a multiplayer mod right now in Hogwarts Legacy as well.
So that's big, because I was about to say this game is pretty satisfying, even though it has 0 multiplaying aspects. But I feel like that's to come, because they keep talking about Quidditch and like, oh, Quidditch season is canceled and blah 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 blah. And so I just feel like they're working on it. And when they release that, they have to release some type of multiplayer server, because there's no way people are gonna just play Quidditch against a computer. Like, not worth it.
I think that's something they're probably going to work on in future DLCs. I could probably see a whole DLC would be in Azkaban for sure, and we'll have Quidditch be a part of it. And I see a lot of DLC opportunity for this game. But you know, so far so good. I'm working towards getting towards the end of the campaign. I don't know how far I am away from it, but very good game so far. And if you are a Harry Potter fan, definitely recommend taking a look at it and seeing if this is in your interest to play. But as we talk about a game that just released, we're going to talk about some games that are coming out. As we just had the Nintendo Direct last week, we had a bunch of games getting announced, and we had some shadow drops. And we'll kind of go through the list of some of the big highlights that they had that came out from the Direct last week. One of them was that Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online.
That's pretty cool.
Which is pretty wild. However, as Veronika will agree with me on this, we were missing some Pokemon games in that list, and I was very upset about it. No Pokemon games announced so far, but they might save that for. They might save it for Pokemon Direct. Who knows? But
what's it called? I just wanted to say, Pokemon Day is February 27th, I believe. That's when like Pokemon started. So I'm pretty sure they're saving it for 10 days from now. And there are rumors about a certain Pokemon game being announced this Pokemon Day, so fingers crossed.
Is it a remake? A remake being announced?
No, it might be a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Which if you haven't played Mystery Dungeon, those games are really fun. They're really good. Very good story too. Yeah,
Mystery Dungeon. Okay.
That's the rumor so far.
Do you think we get any announcement of DLC for the newest Pokemon games?
Honestly, we might, but if not now, then like maybe in the middle of the year or like a couple months from now, they'll have a Pokemon Direct. I wish they I know that like some of their bigger titles, except for Mario, right? I think they have like specific directs for those franchises. Like Pokemon always has a Pokemon Direct. If you get Pokemon news, it's always in a Pokemon Direct. Animal Crossing has its own thing too, right? I feel.
Yeah, I hate how Nintendo organizes their stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, but just announce it at your Direct. Like, I want to hear news, Yeah. I feel like Scarlet Violet might get DLC before Pokemon Legends, and that makes me really mad because I really like Legends.
As people said, Legends has been the more fan favorite of the Pokemon games that came out last year, so definitely will be a crime, but there's not any DLC announced for that. But hoping that we do get some announcements on Pokemon Color and Advanced games coming to online. I would love to play Pokemon Yellow, so that will be hopefully something they will announce. Going on from that, we have a new Metroid Prime remaster that shadow dropped after the Direct came out, which was a huge surprise. I don't think anybody expected a remaster coming so soon. And still no news on Metroid Prime 4, but at least we did get the remaster. Did any of you guys play Metroid back in the day? I've never got the chance to fully play it all the way through.
I had a Metroid on GameCube. Yeah, Metroid Prime. That it was pretty fun. I won't lie. It was mad fun. They had a multiplayer mode in there too that me and my sister used to go crazy on. Yeah, I'm a fan. I can't, I'm not like a huge fan, but like I'm a fan,
I had like a Metroid on the DS. And I think it came for free with something, and I played that for a little, but I don't think I beat it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was never a big Metroid fan. I'm just like familiar, with the basics of the series, but
yeah,
I wish I was, because it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was good.
My experience was Metroid Dread. That was my first time I played anything Metroid related. But I'm very interested to picking up this remaster and then seeing what Metroid Prime 4 is going to be like. So definitely keeping that on the radar. I don't know if there's any Pikmin fans here. I don't know if anybody's played Pikmin before. But
not outside Super Smash.
Pikmin?
Yeah, Pikmin. I don't know if you ever played it before. I never did. As we're all like, nah. But Pikmin 4, if you guys are interested in that, that's going to be coming soon. Advance Wars 1+2 Boot Camp. I never played those games either, but it's apparently a fan favorite for Nintendo fans. That one, another one I haven't played, and I don't think any of us have played, so that's another one that might keep your interest. But the big announcement, well, not really announcement because the game was already announced, but the biggest surprise is that The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will not be delayed, and it is going to be coming in May. So
it has to come eventually. So congratulations.
Yes. I was surprised that it was not delayed, though. I was very shocked because we didn't hear much about this game for a while. I was like, oh, they're going to delay it. But I think they're going to start ramping up the marketing for it because I've been seeing ads from the trailer on YouTube now. So I think it's official that it's going to be coming in May. That's the game I think most Nintendo fans are excited about. However, the big problem is that this is going to be the first Switch game that will be $70. $70 for Zelda.
You know, it's funny, like
in this economy,
those games already cost us almost $70 because of tax. So now it's gonna be like $80 because of tax. Like, what do you mean?
That's damn near $100.
I'll buy 5 games. Buy 5 Switch or like any games because now every other platform's doing it too. Buy 5 of those and you got yourself a PlayStation 5. Like that's the cost of a fucking PS5. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
What?
That's so crazy.
You got me fucked up.
It makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense for Nintendo because they're going to get themselves anyway. But like, the fact that they're doing this and we're still on a console that is worse than the PS4 and Xbox One, and they're charging $70 for is insane.
They're bugging.
So crazy.
They're bugging.
Do we think they're gonna announce like a new Switch though anytime soon?
How long has it been since this new Switch game came out?
6 years, right?
It's been 6 since the Switch came out. Yes, the OLED came out. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Honestly,
I don't know. They move in tens.
Yeah, I think that they're going to probably announce it end of the year and then they're going to release it next year. That's my guess because they normally do like a 7-year gap. The only time they did was because the Wii U sold so bad that they did it in 5 years. But they normally do like a 7-8 year gap. So it is about that time for them to do a new
what would they even
console.
make?
I think they got to keep it like a Switch.
Yeah, I feel like they'll have to just make a completely different Switch. I don't know.
Every console they have made arguably is different, right?
Yeah.
You know, 64 became the Cube, right?
Yeah, 64, and then it went to GameCube.
Huge.
And then
Cube went to
Wii.
Huge.
Wii
became the
Wii U,
which is prototype Switch. And so the Switch, all you can do is, I guess, iPhone it and just make better parts, but it's
it's tough because, like you said, Nintendo normally they don't like to do the same thing twice. They normally like to innovate on their console. So, but I don't know. I think they're in a very weird like predicament because the Switch has sold so many consoles and are just past the PS4 in sales. So they've sold a lot of these consoles. So it would make it like I think that the way that they do the Switch, it works really well. That it is handheld and you can play it on your TV, so people who like playing, you know, DS, 3DS, all that stuff have that in the Switch. But if you like, you know, like me playing home consoles, you get to just do it on your TV like that, and it's super easy to take around and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to stray away from that. They're going to have some type of portability in their next console. Like there's just no way they can't go back from that. So we're gonna have to wait and see about that. But I'm curious if they're going to raise the prices across all of their games, or if this is going to be a one-time thing for Zelda.
This is probably
Zelda doesn't even deserve it, dog. After all the delays, you should be paying me to play this game. You are insane. You are insane. You're sick. You're sick.
Oh my!
And it's not even like a quote unquote like new Zelda. It's a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, and people make an argument that it's DLC, and it's like you're charging $70 for that. But I mean, you can make the argument about God of War Ragnarok, and that people were saying was DLC.
Nope.
But so I don't know. Who knows? Like,
one definitely costs one more to produce. 2, one did not get delayed half a decade. 3, like I can keep like, come on, no, it's not the same. They are not the same. Nope, nope, they are not the same.
He's like, no, we're not on the same wavelength. But yeah, Veronika, I know you were going to mention, we were talking about the price increase. You think it's going to be a one-time thing, or they're going to spread it across all of their exclusives?
So I think it's going to be the exclusives thing, because I know that Sony's doing that with like the PlayStation core games, right? Like the God of Wars and whatever that are like exclusive to PlayStation. I believe those are all like $70. Wasn't?
Yeah.
Am I crazy? But wasn't Final Fantasy
was like 80.
Also like some
Final Fantasy VII Remake integrate the PS5 version of it was $70, but it came with the DLC, so that's why it was $70.
Well, okay, well, The Last of Us, that's $70. It's a remake anyway. Remember, I think so. I feel like all the like big titles, you know, like big platforms like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, they're gonna keep it to like their big games because they know that's where they're gonna get the most money from. But if you're some indie game, some whatever, you know, publisher, a company, you'll probably stay at the like 60, maybe 40 if you're, you know, whatever. If we're lucky. Fingers crossed we keep it like that, because if they're gonna make every game $70, it's time to pirate.
Dark time for gaming.
It's time to
beat all those games you've been putting off, honestly.
Yeah, it's time to go back to my log of all the games I have sitting around on my PC and shit, and
it's time for Howie to play Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen, it's been time for me to play it, man. I get it. I have the collection. I have 4 through Plus. I have Lost Legacy. I have all of them.
Good, because I was literally about to give you my passwords and shit. I was like, dog, you have to play. It's like super satisfying. It's a great story. Naughty Dog do not miss. I swear.
I know.
They don't.
I gotta go through all of them. It's like when I played Kingdom Hearts. I played all the Kingdom Hearts games. It took me a couple of months to get through all of them. I gotta do it for Uncharted. So
I don't want to put those in the same bucket because one, the Kingdom Hearts lore is kind of crazy, but the gameplay is also something else. Like this is gonna feel like a story, right? There's no exploring, there's no nothing. It's just shooting, puzzles, cutscenes.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is definitely on my list. But yeah, $70 games are just not letting up, and a lot of people are kind of. And one thing too about, you know, Zelda being $70 is that Nintendo's prices for games don't go down. I think Breath of the Wild is still $60, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Super Smash Melee is still $50.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. They're so greedy. Like, please have mercy on us. We're spending so much money. I can't do this.
Please, like, we are begging. Please take care of our wallets. Like, I don't know. I need them to get it together, and if they get a new Switch console or a new console in general, I'm buying it day one because the Switch is the most clutch console I've ever had in my life. But I'm gonna need Nintendo to do better with their prices. That's for sure. Derrell's giving me the look. He's like, what?
One, I'm just saying, how you saying all this shit that we just been saying? You're like, oh, well, I'm still gonna buy that day one. 2, knowing that you don't play video games, it's gonna be dusty. Remember when you bought the Xbox Series day one? Where is it now?
That's true.
Sold it.
Sold it.
Look at this guy. Okay, here's some more.
Just breathe. Just Howie, you're letting them win. Listen, not buy this day one.
Here's some more about my not playing games. So you know Pokemon Legends Arceus, right?
this guy is
I bought
sick.
it a year ago, and I've still not played it.
So cut the stream.
Cut
the stream. It's coming. I promise. I gotta finish some other games. I keep saying that, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there at some point. But I do want to play it. But one more topic before we wrap up today's podcast.
A menace.
Want to talk about a game. Well, we'll save this topic for next week, but we'll skip to a different one because I don't think we got to talk about it in the last episode. But with Apex's new season coming out on Tuesday, there was a lot of talk over the last few weeks about EA.
Sorry.
Yeah, canceling, some games like Apex Legends Mobile got canceled, Battlefield Mobile got canceled, and then the biggest thing of all is that there was a Titanfall story game that was in development and it got canceled. It was called Titanfall Legends. It was supposed to kind of be like an intro to Apex, but also Titans are still kind of around type thing, and that got canceled internally. So as us being huge fans of Apex and us being fans of what Respawn makes with all of their incredible games, I wanted to throw this conversation to end the stream. But Derrell, I want to hear your thoughts about the cancellation of a potential Titanfall Legends single player game.
I think this was our last topic on the last podcast too.
Well, I wasn't here, so we talking about it.
Clearly wasn't tuned in.
I think we went like 30 minutes over because we were talking.
Yeah, we were ranting on this. This is an emotional topic for me. I feel like they really did the fans of this whole franchise a huge disservice. Because people who play Apex, for the most part, the original base came here because of Titanfall. We've been asking for TF3 for years. Every piece of IP of this damn game is from Titanfall, and so it makes zero sense to me to just like butcher everything about this fucking brand that we've been trying to support just for an elbow of it that we put up with, right? Like, Apex is not our favorite shit. We just put up with it because we're like, eventually we're gonna get TF3, right? No. So
right?
Yeah,
right?
You would think, right?
So yeah, I'm a little pissed.
Yeah. Veronika, I know, again, we talked about it the last episode, but I want to hear your thoughts again.
I was gonna say that last episode when we talked about this, Derrell had a playthrough of Titanfall 2 going on in the thing. So I was watching it, right, and he was like explaining some stuff because like I'm not super familiar with like the Titanfall side, but like I have like 200 something hours on Apex, which I know isn't a lot compared to some people, but like that's a lot for yeah, like so like I play the shit out of Apex, but I was looking at it and like Derrell said, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, that's literally the image of the Volt.
Yep.
The gun that they use in Apex. I'm like, that's literally the EVA 8 that they use in Apex. I'm like, this is literally the same like notification or like whatever caption thing that we'll see at the bottom. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, how you have everything you guys have and need for Titanfall 3 in Apex, and you just like refuse, like flat out like refuse to give it to people. I think that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's insane. It's like heartbreaking watching it.
It is, because I'm like, damn, I'm not even a fan, but I'm like looking at this and like, you just gave us Titanfall 3 in the form of a different game. Like, why don't you just like actually make it? Like, you have all the assets, you have the interest, you have the characters, you have people begging to throw money at you. Like, why don't you want it? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
People who have only played Apex, like, if you think Apex is fast paced, y'all have not played Titanfall. Titanfall is wicked fast paced.
Super fast.
It is ridiculous
non-stop.
how fast it is. Wall running, all of that.
And the Titans are so fun. They're like, some people haven't experienced hijacking a Titan yet. Fuck piloting one. That's fun too. But just using your jetpacks, wall running, jumping on the back of it, pulling out the battery and letting that shit blow up. Satisfying.
So satisfying. So good. Satisfying. I think we're going to have a TryHard classic replay with Veronika and Derrell playing Titanfall 2 multiplayer.
I'm ready.
So,
I got it.
I think we're going to put him in there.
I have it too.
We gotta have Veronika playing Titanfall because I want her to play the multiplayer and like it, and then she's gotta play the story.
Yep.
Like 100%, you gotta play.
Story is super satisfying, by the way. It's like Star Wars good, you know, like the companionship between man and machine, that type of dynamic. It's great. It's great.
No, that's just like also something that just really just baffles me because I'm like, they're advancing on and building on with the story in Apex, right? When we have like the return of all these like other Titanfall characters,
right? Ash,
everything tying
Valks,
into
like uncles, like everything. Yeah.
And I'm like, you're writing the story here. Why don't you just make the game? Like, what's holding you back?
Like, what's holding you back? Why are you doing it? But Respawn instead wants to make. I mean, okay, shout out to Star Wars Fallen Order, love that. So I'm excited for Survivor, but they want to make a strategy game instead, which I'm like, okay, interesting.
See,
I mean, the FPS I'm there for, but.
They'll make games no one asks for, but then as soon as there's a game, people are begging on their knees, like, here's my credit card, here's the numbers you need, take it. They're like, I don't think so.
My zip code is this. Like, please take my money, please.
Like, that's a game that I would be $70. I'm not even complaining. I'm in there. I'm locked in. Don't even care. Put the price up.
I would pre-order TF3. Like that's how serious it is, and I don't pre-order shit. 'Cause I'm like, what if I need the money that day? But such a
unbelievable. Well, we hope that Respawn will decide to make Titanfall 3 at some point. They got a lot of great games coming out with Star Wars Jedi Survivor in a couple of months. It's going to be in April, so we're looking forward to that. And that is going to wrap up today's TryHard's Cooldown. We will be back on Thursday to play some more games. We'll have a TryHard Plays next week, figuring out what game we're going to play, but we will definitely have some more information about that next week.
Oh, that's right. No classic on Monday because we're off.
No classic because it is President's Day. So if you do, let's go. If you do have the day off, I hope you enjoy your day by playing some games. And if you haven't played Titanfall 2, play the single player. It's amazing. But for myself, Veronika, and Derrell, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are going to raid into somebody who is playing Titanfall 2 as a big shout out to
Get out of here. I love it.
So we will be raiding into somebody. We need it.
That.
The streets need it. We'll be playing this on stream at some point. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you have a good rest of your day and a good week. And we will see you next week for some more Cooldown and TryHard Plays.
Peace out, y'all. Bye.